An adaptation can be a scary thing because you're taking one piece of media and you're turning it into a different medium, hoping all the various elements translate properly, which isn't always the case. But generally speaking, when it comes to anime, I'm not very afraid because turning a manga to an anime and light novel to an anime, there's enough good examples out there that I always remain hopeful when I hear like something like Kimetsu no Yaiba is getting an anime. Also done by Ufotable, which helps a lot. They are dope. But you have shit like Hunter x Hunter 2011, which is a fantastic anime adaptation, manga to anime. Then you have something like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. All 4 parts I think are absolutely like a riot to watch. From light novel to anime even, you got something like Monogatari, the GOAT. So I remain hopeful. Now, into a series that I like a lot, Boku no Hero Academy, My Hero Academia, and Nanatsu no Taizai, or Seven Deadly Sins, 2 what I like to call iconic fights came up, and one of these adaptations went plus ultra, and the other one, I don't even know what was going on.
Yeah, see, I ain't posing with the potion unless I wanna take a sip. Young pimp, makeup on my back, but do not call me slick. So emotional.
So when I say iconic fight, this is what I mean. Bring up the name of a series, and you guys will start talking about fights at some point. If it's a battle manga, battle series, and you will always kind of steer to certain fights. In Naruto, you're gonna talk about Naruto versus Sasuke, part 1. Maybe Jiraiya versus Pain. You're going to talk about Ichigo versus Byakuya, how crazy it was when he used his Bankai for the first time. You're going to talk about Rob Lucci versus Luffy, and those 3 Rokuo guns Luffy had to tank. Like, there's always fights like that in series that you'd be like, yo, that is the fight. I think Iskander versus Estarossa is one of those types of fights in Nanatsu no Taizai. And at this point in time, I truly believe that All for One versus All Might is the iconic fight for Boku no Hero Academia. Now, Boku no Hero Academia went plus ultra. Shout out to Studio Bones. That shit was fantastic through and through, all the way till the end. A1 Pictures, y'all fucked up, because that was some mid. I don't even... Okay, so, the reason why the Estarossa versus Iskander fight is very, very important is because this is the 4th time we've seen him. We saw him torch the Vampire King in the Vampires of Eldenburg side story. He imbalanced Galan and that girl, demon, I can't remember her name. Then he was able to take down Gloxina Delore when it was nighttime. And then this is the next time we see him. Now, given what had just happened, Estarossa pretty effortlessly killed. I said killed, not defeated, not sealed, not locked away. I mean Killed, the main character, pretty effortlessly, even after Meliodas tried to use his revenge counter. This is a big deal because his commandment makes you unable to move if you feel any hatred towards him. And obviously after him killing the Captain Dancho, you're going to feel hatred towards this dude. Nobody can even lift a finger against this guy. You know he's strong because he just took out the captain when he got his powers back. So we're freaking out. And here comes the Sunshine God from the heavens, just comes down, walks up to this guy and says, I don't feel hatred for people who are weaker than me. All I feel is pity. And he goes on to fucking cook this man. Completely embarrass him. It's an Iskander showcase. It's showing you that this dude is absolutely the X factor of the 7 Deadly Sins. Suzuki was even good enough to saw this fight in a way that for a while you don't even know, because granted the fact he defeated the main character who is very, very, very powerful, and Iskander for the first time draws blood, for a second you're not even sure until Iskander's like, alright, that's enough, cruel son, and it's over. He's so menacing in the manga. He's just like this looming, growing power, this force of nature powered by the sun that cannot be stopped. I got fucking none of that in the anime. Not one thing excited me. It didn't even look great. And the thing about it is they kind of hype it up, because when Meliodas dies, the opening changes to a scanner kind of taking his spotlight in a sense. So I'm like, oh, they're building up for the, Estarossa scanner hype. Let's get it. We got 5 minutes of fucking this happened. They just fucking uninspired. All they did was follow the story beats. You did this, that happened. All right, that's over. 5 minutes. I'm like, 5 minutes? Oh my lord, I don't even. Anyways, but with All for One versus All Might, dude. Now symbolically or under the surface, this fight is completely different. It's super layered, with Shimura being related to Nana, which actually made All Might despair for a second, and you feel it. You hear it in his voice cracking, you hear it in the music, and you see the little those despair lines when his hands sink and his smile turns upside down. Like, you feel all those emotions there. They captured all those things perfectly throughout the anime. This fight is also a clash of ideals. One for all versus All Might. One for all versus all for one. All for one. All power for one person. The villain, the leader of the villains. All for one. All Might. One for all. One power for all people. The symbol of peace. It was fantastic. This is also a little bit of revenge. You killed my master. Okay, well, you killed a lot of important things to me. Alright? And they had a confrontation 6 years ago that left All Might pretty much crippled for the rest of his life in a sense. All of those things came to the surface, but most importantly, it's a passing of the torch of generations. You are up next, Midoriya. You are up next, Tomura. Like, both teachers are passing the torch on to their students. And the combination of all of that coming together and the way that the anime portrayed it, they went plus ultra. They went beyond my expectations. They even turned up the animation a notch for the scenes that were super important, super impactful, to add an extra oomph. You know what I'm saying? And the music and everything just got to me at the end when he puts his hand up really slowly and is shaking, and he inflates himself for a second. I'm like, yo, you guys care about the source material. You guys are adapting this shit perfectly. I love that fight. I watched it so many times. Then you have this Estarossa fight with a scanner, which was supposed to be so hype, and it was just completely uninspired. It's really sad to see that happen, because now I don't even know if, spoilers, I don't know if the next fight with Iskander is going to end up being any good, because he fights the main character in his assault mode, and that fight is also fucking insane. But like, I'm not worried about the next fights in My Hero. I know Deku versus Bakugo round 2 is gonna be fire, because they've delivered fight after fight after fight. I have no reason to doubt Studio Bones and this current staff and what they're doing season by season. But with A1 Pictures, I don't know, man. But I just wanted to say, this is why sometimes I worry about adaptation, and then sometimes I don't. I guess this is, how it is. There's good and bad, pros and cons. But great job, My Hero. That shit was super fire, super emotional. Bad job, A1 Pictures. You're drunk. Go home, sleep. You're grounded. Think about what you did. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say for the time being. You guys have yourselves a mighty fine day, and I'm gonna be out. Yer!
United, stay in!